Hi guys! Today I have a very special video for you, and that is a Q&A collaboration video with Ra of tama-zone. So in this video he'll be asking me questions, but over on his channel he has already uploaded a video where I asked him questions. So if you haven't already checked that out, go ahead and do that and subscribe while you're at it. So yeah, so let's go ahead and dive straight into the first question. So Ra, what is your question?
Hi Raven, so I'm glad we decided to do this collab together. I had been wanting to do this for a while, so to keep things interesting, I thought I would do my hamster chores while I ask my questions. So my first question to you is, how did you first get into the hobby? Was it in the 90s, or did you get involved with the hobby in the 2004 era when the connections first came out, or was it even later than that? I think we first met over at tama-zone. I can't remember exactly. I think that was it. So yeah, that is my first question.
Thank you, Ra, for your question. And I think it's awesome that you decided to do your hamster chores while asking these questions. So A+ for multitasking. That's a good job. Okay, so as for your question, I wasn't a collector in the 90s, nor was I in the 2004 era. It wasn't until later, much later, it wasn't until 2012, and it was quite by coincidence that I was feeling rather nostalgic, and I was thinking about my childhood. I was reminiscing, and I get these moments sometimes where I feel rather nostalgic. And I was thinking about the toys that we used to have and the virtual pets and Tamagotchis, and I love gadgets and anything like electronic. So I was really curious to see if there were any videos or any information on how these Tamagotchis, what they were like. I couldn't really remember, so I went on YouTube and I did a search for Tamagotchi, and I saw a couple of Tamagotchi collection videos. I can't remember by whom, but I just remember being like blown away by the fact that people actually collected Tamagotchis. And I had no idea that these were still being released. I had no idea that these were they were being made in color, and they were so advanced compared to the ones that we had back in the 90s. So that was amazing. I was hooked, and I immediately decided that I need to have one. I have to go on eBay to find myself a Tamagotchi just for fun, just to see what it's like, just for fun, just to play with it. So I wasn't a collector at that time. I didn't intend to, but I really enjoyed it a lot, and I loved it. It was so much fun. It was being playful, childlike. It was just, yeah, so much fun. So I went on to tama-zone, mostly to find like information on these Tamagotchis. I was a complete noob, so I didn't know anything, and I felt so silly asking questions and so embarrassed because there were a bunch of people on there that were so knowledgeable and that had been collectors for years and years and years, and here was I, complete new. I didn't know anything. So I felt really silly on there, but I had to make an account on tama-zone, I think, if I remember correctly, in order to ask questions. So that's what I did I think I ordered my first Tamagotchi in June 2012. Then I became a member on tama-zone in August 2012, so 2 months after. But yeah, tama-zone was where I went in order to get my like information and stuff. So that is how it all began, and quite by coincidence really, and all because I was feeling nostalgic. So yeah, so there was that. And yeah, on to the next question.
And my second question is when did you first start to realize that you wanted to do YouTube videos, and how did you go about starting up your channel? Was it a particular video you had seen which inspired you, or was it something different? So I think that is a very interesting concept of when people start to do videos with no expectations, and then their channels take off and people start liking their reviews, and you know, you're obviously one of the biggest YouTubers for the Tamagotchi channels on YouTube right now, so I think that would be very interesting to know.
So thank you for another great question. And for this one, I really have to think back on when I first started my channel, because I actually never intended it to be a Tamagotchi channel. I actually wanted it to be a channel where I reviewed different gadgets or electronic things that I thought were fun and interesting. Because at the same time that I was feeling nostalgic and I was searching for Tamagotchis on YouTube and Google, I also was searching for a watch that I had owned as a kid that is called the Sea Watch. And it had like a lot of animations, it told you the time, and I can't really remember. I don't think I found that many reviews on it, or I think it was just a commercial for the Sea Watch. So I thought it would be fun if I just did like a review on it, or just showed it and showed all the animations. So that's what I did. I decided to just post a video. I was so nervous, and I cringe whenever I see that video. Oh my goodness, my English accent, my dialect and everything is just, oh my god. I've come a long way since then. Let's just say that. But that was 5 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what I started with. I started with a review on the Sea Watch, and then after that I had like this portable speaker, leopard print blue portable speaker that I also thought was really cool and fun, and I also did a review on that. And then my third video was an unboxing of the Tamagotchi Music Star, and I thought, oh, I can just like do different gadgets, these fun toy reviews. But then the Tamagotchis took over because I was having so much fun with these Tamagotchis and I loved playing with them, so I was hooked. I ordered another Tamagotchi and then another Tamagotchi, and I made more unboxing videos and reviews, so it all just yeah, took over from there. So that's basically what started my YouTube channel. It was supposed to be like a gadget review channel, but it became a Tamagotchi channel. So it's fun the way things start out one way. You have a plan, but then things go in another direction, and I loved the direction that my channel went, and I'm just so grateful because it has allowed me to meet so many wonderful people, and I'm just getting all sentimental. So let's just go and go to the next question.
And as for your videos, do you plan them out ahead? Do you have a specific idea with what you want to say in mind?
So as for how I make my videos, I actually don't have any plan whatsoever. My videos aren't scripted. They are very sporadic. I think the way that I upload videos is very sporadic, and you probably have noticed if you're a subscriber. And it all depends on my mood and like how much fun I'm having with a Tamagotchi, or if I'm feeling particularly inspired or just playful and having fun. And sometimes like I'm my daily life, and in my daily life I'm just busy with work and stuff. So it all depends on my mood. It all depends on how much fun I'm having with Tamagotchis, how inspired I am. But I try to keep it to one video per week when I do have like a bunch of videos. So usually when if I'm feeling really inspired and I'm having a lot of fun and I'm just on a roll, I just milk it for all it's worth, and I do a bunch of videos like on the same day, and then I maybe try to post them like once or twice a week, just so that I have some material for you guys over the next couple of weeks, just in case if I feel like there's a dry spell and I don't feel like playing with Tamagotchis, or I just need a break, or if I'm just stressed out. Like, we all get those moments sometimes. So they're not scripted, they're not planned. The only thing that I do is, of course, I do research on a Tamagotchi that I play with. So I've mentioned this many times in my videos that I use tama-zone when it comes to resources, information. Tama-zone is, I love tama-zone. They're like, so tama-zone and Tamagotchi Wikia. Like I read a lot about the Tamagotchi and I play with it. I test out different things. And so when I've played with it for a while, I do like the review, and I usually, maybe if it's a very advanced Tamagotchi, I maybe have like a sheet of paper beside me where I have some key things that I have to remember to mention, or else I'll forget like the release date, how much it cost me, shipping, like specific details like that. So that's the only thing that I have really scripted, so to say, like certain details that I really want to mention in my video. But other than that, it's just unplanned and I just say whatever. It's very, very impromptu, so to speak. So yeah, that is how I work, or how my channel works when I make a video. So next question.
And I think it's also very interesting to know if you give any thought into how you particularly store your tamas. I think that's a very common question that I face, is people are always asking how I store my collection, and honestly I don't particularly have an idea of how to show my collection, because my collection is usually like in boxes upon boxes in my closet. Do you have some sort of storage method that you utilize, or do you like to have them on display? So I think that would be very interesting to know.
Yes, storing Tamagotchis, so important. So just like Ra, I also keep my Tamagotchis in boxes. I have kind of like, I don't really have a storage method per se. I divide my boxes, or I keep my Tamagotchis in different categories. Like in one box there's odd pets, in another there is like vintage pets, in the third one there is like connection versions, and then in the last one there are more like the modern color Tamagotchis. And in all those boxes there are both books and lanyards and cases and pouches and different things, but mainly they're like in 4 categories, and those 4 categories. So I don't have them on display either. It would be really hard to like have all the Tamagotchis on display. That's not really something that I want. I love vintage Tamagotchis, so I could imagine that I would love to maybe display the Yasashi, the Devil Gotchi, the Angel Gotchi, or and the Sanagotchi, maybe. But I don't really mind that I don't have them on display, but maybe some favorite Tamagotchis would be fun to have on display. But other than that, I also have a list, kind of like an inventory, of my entire collection. This is something that took a long time. It was like an Excel spreadsheet where I like put in every single Tamagotchi that I've bought and how much I've bought it for, so I know exactly how much I've paid for my entire collection. And it's a lot, I'm telling you. Being a toy collector it's not cheap. But I'm a grown up. I have a job, so I have my own income, and yeah, I decide what I want to spend it on. So that is, yeah, so that's it. I have clear cases, clear boxes. That's the only concern that I have, that the boxes are clear plastic, because I worry about my Tamagotchis getting sun damaged. So that's the only thing. I might eventually buy like darker boxes and then store them in a closet where they're like in the dark, and getting a ton of silica gel packages as well to throw in there to keep them like from like corroding or rusting or whatever you call it. Not that I have batteries in them, but still, just to keep like any condensation away or any moisture or water out of my collection. So yeah, that's it.
And I know you, where you live, you don't get to find tamas easily, and from what I recall, you live on an island, so is it more difficult to get a hold of these things over there versus a more common place, I don't know, like the States or something of that sort?
That's an interesting question, and for those of you who don't know, the Faroe Islands is a group of 18 islands in the North Atlantic Ocean between Iceland, Scotland, and Norway. So we're situated like bam in the middle of the ocean. And I actually don't have that big of a problem finding or getting Tamagotchis. Like most people, I go on eBay, I shop on eBay, I find Tamagotchis there. I've also used Hobbylink Japan and Japan You Want. So I get most of my Tamagotchis from those like sellers. And sometimes sellers don't ship to either Denmark or the Faroe Islands. But that's not a problem. I just go ahead and find someone else that does. So, and usually things work out. The only thing that I have to keep an eye out though is the value of the Tamagotchi, because it can't exceed, was it around $45, because otherwise it might get stuck in customs and I'll have to pay a customs fee, so it becomes much more expensive. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, a lot of people have to do that, and it depends on like your country's rules when it comes to custom fees. But in my country, the value can't exceed around $40 to $45, but that's pretty good though. And most of the times I've been lucky. Sometimes I've been unlucky. Like with the Sanrio one, I had to pay a custom fee, so it was expensive already, but then it became even more expensive. So that kind of sucked. But I'm happy about having this anyway in my collection. So yeah, so that is it. Next question.
Yeah, and also I guess, what are your favorite tamas and your favorite reviews that you've done? So I think that would be very interesting to know. So yeah, so thank you for once again doing the collab with me, and I look forward to your answers.
Such a good question, and such a hard one, because there are so many good Tamagotchis out there. I don't own every single Tamagotchi. My collection is not complete, but I really love the Angel Gotch when it comes to the vintage Tamagotchis. I also, of course, there are the holy grails like the Yasashi, the Devil Gotchi, the Santa Clouch or Santa Gotchi, and then the Angel Gotch is the one that I just think it's so cute, and I've run it. It's the one that I keep going back to whenever I feel like I'm stuck in a rut. I'm not really feeling like running a Tamagotchi, and it just always brings me back into like the Tamagotchi mode of like running Tamagotchis. So the Angel God, yay! I love it. Also, when it comes to the connection versions, none of them actually were my favorites. I really liked the Tamasuku. I actually enjoyed it running the Tamasuku a lot. That maybe is in more the Japanese connection category. And then when it comes to the modern Tamagotchis, that's where the Tamagotchi piece is definitely my favorite. I love the Tamagotchi piece. So yeah, I will have to say, if I had to get rid of my entire collection and I could just keep one, I would keep the Angel Gotch. So, but it's a hard one. That's a hard one because there are so many good Tamagotchis out there. As for the reviews that I've done, that's also rather difficult to choose because I've made so many videos and so many reviews. But the one that comes to mind is the Yasashi review that I did. And I don't really know if it was just because it was like, oh, the Yasashi, and it was amazing to finally have added it to my collection. And I loved that it was blue. It was my favorite color. And I loved that the buttons were like each icon and it lit up. And I think that was also one of my first videos where I added background music. So that was like a shift in my channel where I like made some changes. And I also really was pleased with the Tamagotchi piece review that I did, but it's not my favorite. But mostly I'm just proud of the work that I did. I put a lot of effort into doing research on it. I read through so many like guides and posts, and I did a lot of research, and I played with it for so long, and I translated everything and had so many tips and tricks that I put in my video. And I'm just really proud of that video. So, but I think just my Yasashi video, that I keep thinking about that one. And also the Sanagotchi video, but that's mostly because I really enjoyed the backstory of the Tamagotchi, like the story behind it, that I thought was really fun and different and interesting. So maybe it's more the storytelling in that video that I really enjoyed doing. So yeah, those three will have to be like the top three, with the Yasashi as number one. So that is it, guys. I hope you didn't fall asleep. This was a long one. I know, and I'm sorry, but what can I say? This is a fun hobby, and there is a lot of information and a lot that I can share with you guys. So I'm happy that I'm able to do that with this collaboration with Ra. So Ra, again, thank you so much for asking these questions, and thank you for suggesting that we do this collaboration. So you guys, go over to tama-zone's, Ra of tama-zone's video or his channel, and make sure to subscribe. He has so many great videos over on his channel, and collection videos and reviews. So definitely go ahead and check out his channel. And yeah, so that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. So yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye.